All right, guys, welcome back to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. You want to know some things that I think Rolex does that are just downright ugly? Well, stay tuned. You'll find out. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews. Today, I'm talking about some things that Rolex does that I find downright ugly. So before I get into these things, I want to tell you that I'm a huge fan of Rolex. I think when it comes to a luxury watch, they're one of the best that you can buy for holding their value. They're always going to be in demand, and it's a well-made product. But that said, they do some stuff that I think just looks horrendous. So the first one, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comments over. What is it? It's the Oysterflex strap. I don't know why. Just when I see that on the Sky Dweller, when I see that on the Yachtmaster, the Daytona, it looks to me like you put cheap hubcaps on a Ferrari. It just doesn't go. And that's just me. I don't know why. But when I see that, I want to see a better image of a Yachtmaster. I do not want to see it with that Oysterflex. Now, I know people love it. It's supposed to be the best wearing strap you can find. I know it's well made, titanium insert, but it just doesn't look right, number one. And number two, you got a Sky Dweller, you got a Daytona, Yachtmaster. You've got basically a elastomer, and that's what they call it, an elastomer strap on this really expensive, highly desirable watch. I don't care what anybody says about anything with elastomer in the name. It's not going to maintain its integrity over time. Something's going to dry out and crack. Doesn't matter to me. I wouldn't want that on my watch number two just based on the integrity of the rubber strap that's on the thing. Not to say that it looks awful. It looks ugly. So looks, I can't stand. It doesn't look right on a Rolex. Yeah, if you got a Seiko, sure, looks fine. Or an Orient, but you're putting that on a Rolex, just doesn't go. And then the integrity of the strap, is it going to hold up over time? I wouldn't want it on there. So if it's a backup option and you've got the bracelet and you're wearing that some of the time, fine. But I'm thinking it's eventually going to start to dry out and crack. I can't stand the Oysterflex. Tell me about it in the comments. I'm sure people are going to disagree with me, but this looks ugly. Next, I'm going to some dials that I cannot stand. Any men's watch with a diamond set, and I'm not talking about a full diamond dial. I'm just talking about the hour markers. You look at a Datejust with a diamond set hour markers, it looks to me like something that was purchased off the streets of New York back in the 80s. It just looks cheap. I don't know why. I know they're real diamonds. I know it's expensive and Rolex did it. But any diamond set Datejust just looks, I don't know, cheap. It just cheapens the look of the watch to me. It doesn't look right. Even the diamond set Roman numerals, I don't think they look right. Now, again, I'm talking about a men's watch. The smaller women's, it does seem to flow better when I look at them. It seems to go with it. But these Datejust 36 and larger with diamond dials, ugh, can't stand it. Another dial I just find atrocious is the olive green palm leaf and the gold palm leaf. I don't know what they were thinking one day at Rolex. They were all sitting around, and I wonder who blurted out, let's put a palm leaf on our dial. Hey, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's do a palm leaf. We've never done that before. I don't know why, but when I look at that, I could see if it was just a limited edition, something they did briefly just for fun. I think it looks atrocious. It looks ridiculous because that doesn't look like something that's going to stand the test of time. Is a palm leaf going to be desirable? Tiffany's one thing. A Tiffany color is one thing that's always going to be desired in the marketplace. But a palm leaf, I think they're ugly, and they just, the green and the gold, they both bother me, but some people like them. The turquoise dial on the day-date, and I'm talking about the turquoise, not the Tiffany dial, but the turquoise that looks actually like turquoise stone. That looks like something from the 70s, like a ring my mom would have worn. That turquoise on a Rolex it doesn't look right. Really has an odd look to it. And I'm surprised they're sticking with that. So I can't stand that turquoise dial. The celebration dial on the OP, the bubbles. Again, who was in this meeting and said, let's put a bunch of bubbles on the lower portion of the dial? We're going to call it the celebration. Okay, yeah, it's a good idea. I think this looks like a kid's watch. I really can't figure out who would even wear this, even if it was made by a cheap watch company. You know, if Seiko put this out, would anybody even buy it? It doesn't even look aesthetically pleasing the way those bubbles are laid out on that dial. I think it's awful. I think it's horrendous. It's my opinion. Some people are striving to get the celebration dial, but you got me. Meteorite dials, I hate them. I think they look awful. I think it just looks like some sort of 1980s texture dial. I don't care that it came from a meteorite, but you're going to put it on a white gold GMT Master 2. Just ruined that watch. And everybody's like, oh, that adds to the value. That's so desirable. I don't care. I think it looks awful. I would want meteorite dials off. I can't stand them on any watch. Because unless someone knows that came from a meteorite, it just looks like cheap plastic texture. So meteorite dials, I'm surprised that Rolex did it. Seemed like that was a late to the game, me too type thing. So no go on the meteorite dials. Bezels. Now again, I'm talking about men's watches, and Rolex, they point this out in the men's section of their website that they do diamond set bezels on men's watches. It just looks odd. Again, it looks like something that you bought at a flea market or some street vendor in New York back in the 80s. I think it just cheapens the look of the watch, and it just doesn't flow, especially on a men's watch. Women's, smaller, it does look good. But on a men's watch, when all of a sudden you just get hit by that diamond bezel, I can't stand it. I think it looks awful. So these are some of the things that bug me that Rolex does, especially to be such a picky company, that they come out with some stuff that I find just odd looking on some of their watches. You tell me in the comments below, do you agree with any of these? What I miss? What's some stuff about Rolex that you can't stand? And I'm talking about aesthetics. I don't want to talk about wait list or prices or any of that stuff. That's a whole nother topic. This is all about the looks of the watch and things that bug you about it. Leave it in the comments below. And as always, I appreciate you tuning in to Cold Pizza Watch Reviews.